Oh, hi there. As Duchess suspected, her teacher would like her to incorporate ArrayLists. Come on, let's review for the exam. Okay, Duke. I kind of figured we'd have to incorporate ArrayLists into our program. There were also some design issues that the teacher helped me fix in advance of us working through the ArrayList. Let's look at the design for the Gradebook class. Our Gradebook class will have an array list of students called roster, and it also will have a course name. Because the average actually belongs to the student, we moved compute average into the student class. So in this class, we're going to have an add student to add students to the roster list, a print all names, a print all averages, and a get course name. Let's dive in. An array list stores objects. To create the array list for the roster, we need ArrayList and then the type, in this case students, and the name, which is roster. And then in the constructor, we'll have to create that as a new array list. Let's start there. And we'll have to pass an array list to the constructor. When references are passed as arguments, the parameter becomes a reference to the object, so you'll have multiple references to the same object. It's good programming practice to not change the data that's being passed as an argument to a constructor or a method. If you need to use that data to set values for instance variables in a constructor, it's wise to make a copy of that data. To make a copy, we're going to want to iterate over the student list and add each element to the roster. There are several ArrayList methods that you should know for the AP exam. Method size gets the length of the array list. There are two add methods, a get method, a set method, and a remove method. We have an add method that we can use to add to the roster, and we have a get method that we can use to get values out of the student list. An array list is a collection of data that's resizable. You can continuously add data to an array list and also remove data, making the size dynamic. To traverse the list, we're going to use iteration. We can use a for loop, a while loop, or an enhanced for loop. Let's see what this looks like with a traditional for loop first. We'll have an index counter that goes from 0 to 1. We have to use the get method to get the student objects out of the student list and then add it to the roster. So that's one way we can do it. Since we're not changing any values in either roster or the student list, another way that we could do this is to use an enhanced for loop. To use an enhanced for loop, we're going to iterate over the actual values within the array list. We can do this with arrays, array lists, or 2D arrays. So the type that's being returned is student. I need a name for the variable, colon, and then the list we're trying to iterate over, student list. Student will be assigned studentlist.get at 0 during the first iteration, and then student will be assigned studentlist.get1 during the second iteration. So student has the value, and that's what we're adding to the roster. Depending on what version of Java you're using, you might need to import java.util.ArrayList or .star to bring in the entire util package. Okay, the next thing we have to do is complete these methods. Let's knock out getting the course name pretty quickly. Okay, that was easy. Next, let's tackle adding students to the list. To add a student to the list, we're going to use the add method and just append it at the end. The array list name is roster, and we use .add and s. In a future lesson, we may want to keep these alphabetized and insert the student at a particular index. The next thing is to print all names. I think she wants us to print all the nicknames. We need to iterate over the list, which is roster. And for each student, we need to get their nickname. What's contained in the roster list is an entire student. That student has data such as the name, the grades, and an average. If we want to just get the name for this student, we're going to have to use a method on the student object that we were pulling out of this array list. So it's not enough to say system.out.println student. That would call the toString method for student. What we really want is to get the nickname for this. If we look in the student class, we have a getNickname method. So student.getNickname. We'll call the method on the student object and get the nickname for that student. Let's try this. In our runner class, I've already created 2 students and added them to an array list called student list. And I've created a gradebook and passed the name of the course, AP CSA, and the student list to it. Now I want to call our new method and just print a roster of nicknames. So AP CSA teacher dot print all names. Okay, let's run it and see what happens. Okay, we get Duke and Duchess, which are the nicknames for our 2 students. We need to do the same for the averages. In this case, we're going to want to print the nickname plus the average. Again, we're going to want to call a method on student to get the nickname, and we'll call another method on student to get the average. Let's try this. So when we do print all names, we get Duke and Duchess, and then print all averages, we get Duke 90 and Duchess 94. That's the only improvement that the teacher wanted us to make today. We'll see what she has in store for us tomorrow. Goodbye for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more AP CSA review, and check out the links in our description. Good luck on your exam.